Hello. Today I'll be interviewing Devin about his experiences at Asian casinos. I expect it to be a fascinating conversation, but that'll begin in a moment. I have an important announcement first. To actually make sure when you ask questions that you add in the live chat to add hashtag question so we can spot it with everything else that's going on. So the announcement is that Slots Labs has its Session 1 Foundation next week, and I'm so excited. Let me show you what that looks like. Right, there it is. And this is where you go at professorslots.com/SL to sign up. We've got a great group, but still have room for a few more. Will you be joining us as a first-time participant? Meet our awesome multi-time participants who loved it so much they came back to become even better at winning at slots. We have a weekly group coaching conference call via Zoom on Mondays, and Lee, that is down under Slots Labs here in the section called Zoom Meeting Daytime. So that he had a question in the live chat about that. He's signed up. Be like Len. We have a weekly group coaching conference call via Zoom on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Attendance is optional because we also have a free chat app called Volley to reach each other and answer questions whenever we want. Some prefer meeting at a fixed time via Zoom, recorded for later viewing within the course, while others prefer the flexibility of the Volley app given today's busy lives. Join our wonderful group to learn how to maximize your casino experience and increase your chances of winning. Included with Slots Labs are 2 other courses, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, as well as a 7 Gambling Records Secrets, yours for free. It's been 16 months since I last offered Slots Labs, and honestly, who knows when I'm going to offer it again? I sure don't. Later in this live stream, I'll show you something popular that I'll be doing a lot more. Why? Because my analysis shows that you love it. Again, more on that later. Join Slots Labs, perhaps the last Slots Labs. Again, I don't know if it will be the last. Maybe I'll offer it again in a year and a half. But please remember your special offer for you now. You can use the, here it is. You can use the special code UR Special 888, the coupon code, to receive a 50% off discount. What are you waiting for? Visit Slots Labs to secure the last seat, perhaps forever. So, okay, well, let's go on to our interview with Devin. For the past watchers of my recent live streams, you'll likely recognize Chuck, who is hi, Chuck. If not, let me introduce you, who will be primarily interviewing Devin today. This is ChuckTheComputerGuy.com. Let me make sure I make that available to everybody. I don't know if you can hear my typing or not. And make sure I got that spelled right. Right. So, yes, he'll be asking the questions. He's also a private investigator, hopefully it's an interview and not an interrogation. Don't worry, Devin. So here's Devin, who will share his experiences at Asian casinos. Take it away, Chuck.
Hey, Devin, nice to make your acquaintance. I've only been to Asian casinos twice. I visited 2 in Tokyo in 2019, and it was a completely bewildering experience. The machines were very packed together, the rooms were crowded and smoky, and I don't read Japanese, so I could not figure out how to gamble, how to play at all, and did not see anyone friendly to help. And I had gotten some bad advice ahead of time about not needing local currency and that my credit card would be accepted everywhere. I could not find a place to use my credit card at the casino. So I tried to. They were definitely loud. It was an interesting experience, but it probably would have been better to have a translator or a local to walk me through it. I understand your experience in Manila was much more positive, so please tell.
Yeah, glad to join all of you. And I apologize. I'm in my car because it's more quiet than inside my house. So uh, definitely, definitely a more stable environment. I was traveling with my grandfather, and he, of course, in his retirement, goes to casinos pretty frequently. And I've actually been to casinos also in Europe and in Asia. I remember one time I was in Rome. I looked up a casino, and it was it looked like a James Bond movie. I didn't even go through the front door because everyone was dressed to the nines. The yeah, casino scene in Asia is very dynamic. You have like a lot of choices from uh, Macau, Manila, and then also Australia to some extent. But Manila in particular is very accessible. The other thing I thought was interesting was many of the casino executives on the operations staff, they're from the United States. And one place in particular, it's called the Okada Casino. It's run by a Japanese company, but they were joint owners in Wynn casinos. So not only were they, not only was Okada like very much a Las Vegas style place similar to Wynn, very high end. Um, their their management team was also from Reno when I looked into it. So there are things that yeah I've learned from uh, Professor John here. There's information you can look up to figure out what's going on before you show up. And oh gosh, I must have gone to 4 casinos, and all of them are definitely on par with Las Vegas. All of them are
Great.
brand new. All of them surround the airport, and a handful of them they will accept foreign currency because all these casinos are at the airport. Their machines are set up to take up to 4 different foreign currencies.
Tremendous.
So the key thing is with American dollars, it will only take hundreds.
Okay.
It will not take anything below that. And I mean, the exchange rate is great, of course, but yeah, the other thing that was interesting, uh, getting moving up in tiers. Like I moved up in tiers. I moved up 3 tiers at one casino in like 2 days,
Wow.
just because I figured out how to game the system there. Um, One interesting thing that they don't limit, at least in Manila, is in a regular casino, you can't go to video blackjack or video roulette and get points. I sat down at video roulette and I put in the member card, and I was playing $100 hands, $100 spins every time, and it was counting $100 in points every spin. I know you can't do that in America,
Right.
but and then also you can game roulette so that you can get almost 50-50 every time. So I'd sit on the same $100 for maybe 3-4 hours, and just yeah, the points would just jump. So
Yeah.
um,
Alternating between bets on black and bets on red. Like, what's 50-50?
well, yeah, I won't get into roulette splitting for the sake of this conversation, but yeah, the other thing that's interesting, particularly in the Philippines, is English is one of the national languages. So there's Standard Filipino, which is an official language, but English is also the other official language of the Philippines, simply because the United States used to own the Philippines as a territory before. So
Right.
that the accessibility is extremely good, probably better than Macau, for sure. And then I think Manila is definitely trying to set themselves up as a hub in Asia. Um, they are trying to attract the money from Korea, Japan, and China.
Nice.
So that intersection, that's why they take 4 different currencies. So Korea, China, Japan, and then American dollars. So all of that is there. And the one thing in terms of games that is I would say similar to here is they are all they're all common brand slots like um, Dragon Link, Locket Link, uh, Buffalo. All of those things are there, and then there's a heavy emphasis, of course, on the Asian-based games, the Asian coin dragon-based games. So
Makes sense.
those have the highest amount. But yeah, yeah.
Sure.
And then I'll pause there. If there's any questions I missed, please let me know.
There was a
You
question.
already answered one.
Well, just wanted to expand on it a little bit. The question from the live chat was, what brands or what game manufacturers do you see? You mentioned several common ones, and I just want to clarify, repeat for everybody. You see all the common ones?
For
Well,
the
he
most
mentioned both
part, yeah.
Scientific Games and Aristocrat.
Yep. So the IGT, Aristocrat, Konami games, and then the other thing that was, I'm shocked they don't have this in our casinos, but there is a button on their machines that I've never seen anywhere else. There's a button, it says auto roll.
Whoa.
So pretend you put in $500. There's literally an auto button, and then it just rapid spins. So your 200, $300 could be gone in like 5 minutes.
Easy.
But yeah, if you're, I can see like if you're tired or maybe you're just there to kill time, press auto and just let it run. But that button could be trouble for so many people in so many ways.
Yeah, I've only seen that in the online casinos, but and it's problematic there too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
There is a question on the games that you're seeing. Are they mostly progressives?
From what I saw, it was a lot of the machines were local progressives. So there would be a local area network progressive. So there'd be like 1 million pesos shared among like 10 machines. And I mean, maybe you can look this up, John, but 1 million pesos is not a lot here.
It is not a lot. No.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes what you do. How do you carry around 1 million pesos? Is that like 500 pounds or something? But nobody, it's like getting rid of the penny here. It's you don't have small denomination pesos.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing that was the amenities, because these are all brand new hotels and casinos. These are all hotels and casinos that have been built within the last 5 years. The amenities and the amount of free stuff and catering that you get is better than I've received in Vegas or Reno.
You mean free
by
drinks,
far.
free food?
Free food. They're walking around with not just like Wonder Bread sandwiches. They're walking around with like croissant turkey sandwiches. I it's not 7-Eleven stuff. It's all very nice. And then I mean the big ones that I went to, they have Resorts World there. I mentioned the Okada Casino, which is currently the biggest one. And then there's another place called Solar. And there's another place called City of Dreams. But the I got so tired of going to the casino with my grandpa that I started reading about the casinos instead. But the casino industry there blew up so much that they started to have foreign nations were buying property just to run remote gaming.
Wow.
And then the government shut down dozens of these offshore remote gaming casinos within the last 2 years. But it's all like either Korean, Japanese, or Chinese people who want to gamble. So then they sign in by VPN from their country, and then they're watching somebody play for them in the Philippines,
Wow.
which is great. Oh, and then the other thing that I did was fascinating was for the first in my life I've never seen this. I went to a cockfighting stadium, and I was only there for like 10 minutes, but it was to the scale and quality of an NBA game. Like there was a scoreboard with lights.
Did you see Joe Rogan?
He might as well have been there. Yeah. And then the ring, it was surrounded by glass, and the referee, I it took me a while to figure out the referee who checks the chickens who are fighting. He had a body cam on the way that police do. And I was like, oh, why is he wearing that body cam? Like, if somebody wants to check the tape and ensure that the referee is not tampering with the chickens.
Right.
And I was like, they are like, it's everything's very hyper modern, super sophisticated, and very plush everywhere.
Yeah, I had heard that the last couple of years I've seen some changes. I had a consultation with somebody in Manila, and he asked me to go look over the gaming rules. And what I discovered was the as you had mentioned, there's experts from Nevada there helping to run everything, and
Yes.
and it's also on the government level. They took the Nevada gaming regulations. I don't know if people have ever worked with certification quality. I did this at a company where it's an old document where they added things as they happened. And then, every 20 years, they kind of like take all that and reorganize the document, particularly if some guy's going to retire, which is what I was saying. Anyway, the point is, Nevada regulations are old, and Singapore just said, okay, let's use this and clean it up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't. I mean, Nevada's the example to the world. Not that everybody uses it, but Singapore has just fantastic gaming regulations.
Mhm.
And I mean, you were kind of saying that, but I just want to say I've had a chance to look at this, and the best of the best.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Okada, you'll have to remind me, John, what the name in Reno is. It's is it the Grand Villa Resorts? What is it?
Western Village, owned also by Peppermill, and then there's Atlantis. GSR, Grand Sierra Resort, formerly an MGM.
Grand Sierra, yeah.
MGM Graham, yeah.
Executives from the Grand Sierra are now working in Manila. And, you can figure this out by going to like their leadership about page, and then it says where their job experience is. But yeah, Grand. And so for me, I was thinking, I was like, okay, the same things that I would do in Reno or Vegas will apply here as well. And then Okada is also run by, well, they used to be a former owner of the Wynn Hotels. So yeah, if you're familiar with Wynn Hotels, you have things that work for you there. They will likely work at the Okada. So
yeah, you and I have gone deep into that topic. Maybe I should do another live stream about that. But I everything I know about what Devin is saying, I can confirm with my experiences of talking with people individually, going to GSR, and absolutely. There's a question, actually 2 or 3. Are there taxable jackpot minimums in foreign currencies, and is that what are the amounts on average? That's from Janine, and there's another question that's coming up, but I'll ask in a moment. Taxable jackpots, I'll let you try to answer that.
I did try to look into like, oh, what if I won a jackpot here? Am I subject to local taxes? And then and I was also trying to figure out, well, as a foreign national, I'm not subject to domestic laws. The short answer that I found was yes, I'm supposed to pay the local tax, but I'm sure if you fought hard enough, you could get out of it. Um, that's not a solid or legit answer.
It's okay. It's I have family friends that might even be on the live stream that are in Canada, and they come to the United States, and it's just like, what do you do? I don't know. Hopefully, I won't win.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find out, but then I'm like, well, that's not being positive. You need to try to, that it's the same answer that you just gave.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another question is walking around with your phone recording or open to Google Translate in camera mode prohibited to read screens and menus?
Security is very good there. And the reason security is very good there, they will stop you if you're video recording. If you're using your phone for tools, they won't. But security is extremely high in Manila because, like, there was some kind of terrorist attack at Resorts World several years ago. It was more of a robbery. It was like a rage crime. In any case, one thing that they will do, because I was recording how different machines were running or taking pictures of different slots menus, and security guards were very quick to come up to me and say, "Stop! Don't do that." If you're using a tool like to translate, yeah, that's not a big deal. But again, at least in Manila, um, everything will be in English. And then, but security was high to the point where even if you took a taxi cab to the drive-up lobby, they circle the car with mirrors to check if there are bombs underneath the car. And every five-star hotel did this. Every single one.
Wow.
And then there's dogs.
Chuck
Yeah.
is a security expert. He might have questions. I'm not sure.
No, I'm just pleased. I wish we saw that level of security here. Realistically, they do not take security seriously at most U.S. casinos.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are out there. They do it every day. I've been told by locals that nobody ever finds bombs anymore, but they're just doing it just to do it. And yeah, sometimes you can tell like somebody's just walking around the car holding their mirror on a stick, and they're not even looking down. But
Security
they also
theater.
have guard dogs. So they have bomb sniffing dogs at every entrance. And the second reason why I think private security is very high there is because the police are unreliable, so the private sector has to make up for it. And it is very common when you work as a security guard there, you're bringing your own equipment. So if you have a private gun license, you can contract yourself out at a higher value because you own a gun. So it's the dynamics are very different there.
So I'm sure Chuck knows this, but I had this topic, but I had a project at a university which was a hallway display, and I was talking to security, and they said, if you pretend you can't get in, they don't try. It's the illusion. But to most people, it's not an illusion. Oh, look, there's people with mirrors, and it prevents so many things.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's just a mirror. No, it's fantastic encouragement to not. I mean, lack of encouragement. It's to prevent things from happening. It's the illusion. Security cameras that have a little dome on it, so you can't tell which direction the camera's pointing. There's no camera in the dome. It's almost as good.
I mean, security is so good. I mean, if my grandpa passed out at a machine for 2 hours, nobody would rob him. Nobody would bother him, but if someone tried to pickpocket him, they'd get stopped and caught. But their security is very high. It's probably
great,
at least double the level of security that we might be used to here.
Great.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a question in the live stream, I know Magpie11, hi Magpie, is talking about how this is fascinating, although she's only gambled at Casino Monte Carlo and a couple of casinos in Ireland. So if you have questions, please ask. George says sometimes the mirror dome is great for intersections because people can see other people coming. Although
reflective surfaces, yes. Pro tip.
Well, I was going to say you have to be sober because I've
another pro tip.
Yeah, right. I've been to Las Vegas. I know what it's like. Any questions in the live chat that anyone would like to ask?
Yeah, to comment to Magpie. Yeah, when I was in Europe, I think the security was the dress code. Because I didn't have on a suit and tie, I automatically knew I should not walk inside. But I imagine the hotel in Monte Carlo is very similar to the hotel in Italy. It's very, very swanky, very James Bond kind of atmosphere. It's like, okay, I don't have enough money to even get a cheeseburger here.
So how did you and your grandfather do at the casinos? Any big wins?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
How did you and your grandfather do at the casinos? Any big wins?
Oh, I made a focus on getting tier level. So that was what I made a focus on. My grandpa, oh gosh, he must have lost out maybe 2 Gs American, which, and then at one point, he was supposed to stay there another 2 weeks, but yeah, he was going out more than me to the casino, and I was off doing other stuff like watching movies, hanging out with other friends. The um, the reason I tried to focus on tearing up as opposed to winning money was if I get high enough, then maybe I might get a free flight back.
Got it.
So I'd rather try to earn a free trip than try to win money.
Yeah, I agree. Traveling for free is the way to do it.
There's a question from George about, so, okay, the Players Club got you a free trip back. Is there an American, I think this is what George is asking, is there an American casino for which you can get a trip to a foreign casino?
I believe that, so MGM does have offices in Macau, right? They have casinos in Macau, and then also I think Caesars has a Tokyo casino, I think, as well. But if you go to MGM and you look at their perks, because each of those are incorporated within their foreign countries, they do not share tier benefits. But I did remember trying to look into that before. Like, can I go to Tokyo or Hong Kong, Macau?
For my annual trip, say.
Yeah, I think because even though they share the brand, the benefits are privately held within those countries.
Yeah, and when I had my annual trips, because I was 7 stars in the Caesars Rewards, I went from Cincinnati and had my sister in Michigan come to Las Vegas, but they also included it also included airfare, and I'm not sure what the airfare is to Macau right now, but that's got to be a little tough for the casinos.
Yeah,
I'm checking Expedia right now.
Let's just go with expensive. So any other questions in the live chat? Devin, this has been wonderful. There's plenty of people that travel abroad, and we're all kind of curious. We got some answers, many answers. There's a few like, gee, does MGM send us? But maybe we can follow up later with questions. And if somebody knows, they can comment on the next live stream or comment to this video. Sure. So if I don't see a question, I'll call the interview at this point. Give people a chance to finish typing.
Two things.
Go ahead.
1 million Philippine pesos is a little over 17 grand US.
Yeah.
So that's still big money to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's maybe like a local progressive or a machine progressive, and it'll say 1 million pesos, but
nice.
like a million pesos, $17,000. So
Yeah, it's still a good
Well,
hit.
Well, that most progressives with a couple machines in the network would be, 17,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
ordinary. No
And,
megabucks.
It looks like
I
flights
do.
started about $2,000.
Sorry.
It looks like
I
flights
do
started about $2,000.
Okay. Dev, please.
grand.
Yeah, 2 rand.
Yeah.
You were saying, Devin?
Oh, I do go to Canada pretty frequently, just because it's close for me. Still trying to crack Canada. I don't understand because it's all the casinos are state owned, at least in British Columbia, and it feels like randomly great. So
Ontario had published some things on their state-run crown agency, and they were very it was like very low odds, and but it's people go expecting to spend money, and they come to me wanting to win more so they can stay longer, not necessarily walk out with money, which is fine. And it also depends on what kind of amenities they have. Can I have a good meal, a meal that I want? And so it's the whole venue. Is it nice? And also, what are the odds on the slots? So it's a whole experience. Like Asia is, we want it to be safe. We want, all these things that to go into our casino visit. And although, that auto roll and it's gone.
Yeah.
That I don't know that anybody would like that, unless, they put more in because they're there to spend money.
I got excited about the free sandwiches.
Yeah, very good sandwiches.
Now I want a sandwich. Now I want a sandwich.
Everything's gourmet too, so that's the other thing that makes it nice.
Yeah. This all sounds wonderful. I have some plans to travel coming up. I'm not sure I'll be starting to go initially. So George asks the questions. Got a question. Famous restaurants in foreign casinos like Gordon Ramsay?
The answer is yes. There are famous restaurants in the big casinos, but they're famous to Asia. And then, so like let's say there's like a 5-star chef in Asia, like he has his own line of restaurants there. And then I'll also add, in general for Asia, I was in Korea a few years ago. They were sort of trying to copy the Philippines model. They had like one casino close to their airport in the south, but yeah, other countries have not capitalized on it like the Philippines or Macau. So
yeah, I'm not sure I made it clear that my research for the gentleman I did a consultation with maybe a year and a half ago, and what I've read is the Philippines, it's not certain it's the fastest growing slots gaming industry in the world, but it could be. And that's what we're looking at here. It's that level. And if people for many years have copied Nevada as the gold standard, and now the Philippines is taking that and running with it. And if people want to copy the Philippines in other countries, I can completely see it.
Sure.
It's like Tribal Casino Mohegan Sun in Connecticut was so good at running their casino, they started saying, "Well, we could sell this." So they started, they run this. Casinos are businesses, and this is a product line.
Yeah. And travel country to country within Asia, very cheap. Like you could go to Thailand from almost anywhere for like $100, if you get a good deal. But the yeah, inter-Pacific travel is much lower cost there. So, and the airlines, I remember flying in China, and I was on like a 2-hour flight. They gave me a hot meal. And it was like, on what 2-hour flight do I get a hot meal anymore?
Stop. I still have my little bag of peanuts.
Yeah. But they just the cost for goods and services is not not overdone in Asia.
There's a question which from Magpie, and she says, "Isn't China the home of many of the largest casinos in the world?" And I think basically Macau, is that right? And you want to talk a little bit about that experience because it has such large casinos?
So one of the economic reasons that I've found out why Macau exists, this gets into like very big finance, politics reasons. Macau is a
Money laundering.
special
Sorry.
state.
Sorry. Money laundering. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, Macau is a special state. So, like the rest of China is closed off, and the Chinese government, you're not allowed to take out a certain amount of money from your bank account in China. They like if you make money in China, they want you to keep it in China. So what they've done is there are travel agencies. The way they get around it is you can buy a special package to go to Macau, and they will sell you an outrageous vacation package. Like, let's pretend for $500,000, a trip of your dreams, and then the agency keeps 10, then you get $490 back. But so they're not depositing money to a foreign bank account. They're making a foreign purchase. They're bypassing China's banking regulations by making luxurious purchases.
I hope China doesn't hear me say money laundering.
No, it's arbitrage, John. Arbitrage.
Oh, arbitrage. Okay, arbitrage.
But yeah, that's why these other nations are like dipping their toe into gambling, because they're not really after domestic players.
Right.
There are people in other countries who are like, okay, I want to reinvest somewhere else. And yeah, some of these players, they're not even going to the casino to gamble. They're just going there just to flush their money around. Yeah.
And this is not new. So I'm switching up topics on my channel, this channel a little bit. I used to, like, for instance, I used to talk about history and how the American Prohibition in 1934 was the golden era of slot machines because they all just exploded within these speakeasies, and then Prohibition ended. It went to Europe, and it just so many of them were made, and this is like 100 years ago, 90 years ago, and that was governments saw that they could tax winners, and it was a big moneymaker. And this is that same thing, only modern times, and it's a way to make a buck. Yeah. Okay. We could go on forever. So I will stop and say thank you, Devin. Thank you, Chuck. Chuck, you want to shine your light into our eyes?
Don was teasing me earlier about
interrogations.
Here's the bright light. Tell us the truth.
My camera. Your camera, actually. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and congratulations to Magpie. Yesterday was her last day of, and she is now officially retired. First day. Congrats, Magpie. A long time show attendee and very supportive of the show. So congratulations, Magpie. Good luck. Okay. So goodbye, gentlemen. I will see you when I see you.
Deal.
Yeah. Okay. So let me add that and this. Okay. So that was, great interview, spectacular, really. And this live stream is your opportunity to ask questions about slots. Be sure to like this live stream video. In fact, I don't know if it helps or not, but some of you have noticed, and I've done this where I just sort of hold down the like button in live chat. And there is a lot of likes going on. I think YouTube only counts one of them, but it's kind of pretty. So if everybody wants to click it multiple times, it only shows up as one. But I just thought that was a hack. And at least it looks nice. Thank you for all the little hearts. Yes, I started with the topic inspired by your questions, comments, and conversations. Thank you for your questions. Be sure to like this live stream to attack more slot enthusiasts, to send a positive message to the YouTube algorithm. The more the barrier. I also wanted to tell you, as I promised, a little bit about what I plan on doing more of. I've looked at my last 15 months of. I looked at my last 15 months of analytics on YouTube, and keep those hearts coming. And there's something that you really like that I was a little bit surprised by. I only made 4 videos of it, and they're just massively, liked. So I'm trying to, do what you like. And so I'll be doing more of that. I'll show you an example of it. We're making 75-cent bets on this machine, and first machine. So this is the cat has left, so we're good. This is an uncut video. I'll stop that. It's an uncut video of my being at the casino, and then I talk you through it. And I talk you through my visit to the casino and what I was trying to accomplish, what I was trying to do. And I'm going to be making more of those videos because they're just so wildly popular. Walk in the door, holding my camera, go do my whole trip on 40 machines or whatever, and then walk out with money going, see, I walked out with money, and just outrageous. That's kind of where things are looking to go in the future, as well as the usual things. So we might see a lot more of that, and also, make sure that you join Slots Labs if you want to, because I'm doing that. And let me see if I can make that a little bigger for you. Yeah. So if you go to Slots Labs, professorslots.com/SL, you'll see the first week curriculum, all the different things we talk about. There's also, it was a Zoom meeting 2 weeks ago because we skipped Memorial Day. And that recording is available for those who missed it, including those who just used the Volley app. The online group for group coaching foundation session 1 is on Monday. You're not too late. It's getting kind of there, but you have your first assignments, a quiz about 30 days, diving in. And session 3 is about walking away. my feedback from the first time I offered this was, you should have homework every week about leaving with winnings. So on Monday is the first of 5, 6. Let me make that bigger. Yeah, and we will look at what's going on with walking away with money. And then there's also, I'll be talking about the progressive must hit buys. There is a month's worth of data here at Kashada, and I've gone over this many times, but it is the location shows it on a map where it was the hit in the high limit room for that one. That was a pinball slot machine, multi-denominational. That's the idea in the machine. The hand pay one was 1,600 at this day and that time, which was today at 4:56 in the morning Central Time, $10 denomination. And so this is the one before that was what? 8 minutes before. The one before that was 6 minutes before. The one before that was like 1 minute before. This is all the last month. And I can show you how to analyze it, because if you look at the 0.02 hand pay here, it's a progressive. It even says progressive. But that was a progressive hand pay. And we can go through all of this in 94 cents, progressive hand pay. And we can go through all of this and look at just the hand pay data so that it would be valuable and useful at any casino to try to find out what the must hit buy amounts were. And so this is only the last month. I've got 17 months, 18 months now, close to 19 months worth of data, and 160,000 hand pays, of which 30% are progressives. So, join Slots Labs, and I'll show you how to use that data and give you the data and do the analysis for you on your favorite progressive slot machines. Again, I haven't offered this course in 15, 17 months, and I honestly don't know if I will. I might just switch over to showing these kinds of videos and just see how wildly popular it is. So here I bring up, so I won 86. So it's 40 minutes of my showing my gameplay. So make sure that you are if you join Slots Labs, and I'll be closing it down soon, make sure you use your special 888. Okay, so the next segment is my Slots Lab slots strategy number 4. And so let's start reviewing that. It'll be followed by Arkansas slots and what's going on in Arkansas. So let's see if there's a couple of questions. Paula says, Len says, whoops. Let me do that. Just finish out that question. I don't know about Bitcoin. He did say that there's like 4 or 5 different currencies that would be accepted. Bitcoin sounds like more like online slots, and that is definitely something that's was kind of kicked out of Singapore recently with their introduction to making it more modern. That would have been a great question for Dev. And Magpie says, do what works in trends. Yeah, it's just wildly popular, so I'm going to go do that. I've been resisting it for the last 2 years. It would be a little bit like what the other slots channels are doing to grow, but in fact, basically it's a demonstration of using my techniques. I missed the Memorial Day morning after promotional events or holidays, but there's a lot of events going on in Reno, and I've got 13 casinos to work with, and I just see myself, I see it blowing up. And I'll stay focused on that. There's other things, of course, I want to do, but I'm trying to shift it from 98% not doing that to 70% doing that, if that makes sense. Paula says Asians pride themselves on hospitality, so the meal on plane tracks. Yeah. And George says, any future comparison charts about tier credits versus player clubs? No, because it's not that simple. I have I had a video that I made where I had my array of players clubs, and they're all so different that it's apples and oranges, if that makes sense. It's an engineering saying where it's hard to compare an apple to an orange because it's just so different. Yeah. Steve says, John, the last several weeks at my local casino have been dreadful. The end of April was very good, and the first week of May was otherwise not good, and that's just me. So yeah, that's we talked about seasons in the year, and how obvious is this? I'll be going back to the casino, and we'll see what happens. I know that in Nevada you don't want to play on the weekends because everybody comes to visit, and the casinos know that. So I will likely avoid Saturdays. At some point, I might just go on a Saturday and see how I just lose my bankroll and say, "See, I told you," or maybe I just won't go. I'm debating. Yep. Right. So keep on commenting, keep on asking questions. Casinos host large promotions, which are an opportunity to improve your overall slot machine gambling performance. Special event promotions are unusual enough that I was able to detect a winning pattern, which I will share with you. Special events at a casino are typically significant promotional events held by the casino. This gathering includes, for example, when a huge audience attends the casino after a local sporting event concludes. Other types of special events, and I had a lot of those in Cincinnati when I was living there. Other types of special events include large and nearby gatherings, such as annual festivals or marches for various charities. Cincinnati had that. Reno has all these closed downtown and have, well, today is the first crawl. There's some of them are very famous. Today is Mimosa Crawl. Later will be Wine Crawl, Beer Crawl, Santa Crawl, Zombie Crawl. They have hundreds of them. So while not explicitly organized by the casino, these nearby special events are nevertheless critical as opportunities for the casino to drive traffic to its establishment. The casino marketing staff is very aware of this approach, which is an integral part of their own winning marketing strategy. Holidays are a type of special event promotion, but they are different enough to warrant their own strategy at reliable holiday patterns. It's another article I'll have for you later. Significant promotional events, whether they are coordinated to occur during or immediately following large local commercial, community, or special sporting events, are special casino events. The casino invites patrons to these promotions via email and mail flyer distributions using their players' club sign-up information. Highway billboards and other traditional media will often be used to improve attendance. These promotional events, which players may not necessarily be aware of, might include the conclusion of a month-long or longer promotion, such as a car giveaway. Although somewhat smaller, these special promotional events may still be relevant and include local concerts or celebrity presentations held at or near the casino vendor. I should have gone this morning, had a live stream. Kevin Hart was in Sparks today. Last night. So this morning, instead of doing this, for me, it's getting on 10 o'clock in the morning, Pacific time. I probably should have gone. Yeah. What's so special about them? The reason special events are a winning strategy is relatively straightforward. There appears to be a distinct winning advantage for playing slots on the day after a special event, particularly in the morning or early morning on the following day, say between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. My records of gambling at slots show that period immediately following special events is an excellent time for the casino. I've visited the morning after. This real data aligns with my financial understanding of how profits may be generated by a casino by its operator, which I will explain as follows. I'll make sure I'm checking for and a casino might reach its targeted gambling percentage payout commitment to its stakeholders. Large audiences gather at significant special events. It is easier or even possible to make stakeholder expectations if the casino performs slightly better than required by its financial performance metrics. But why? This imprecision is in meeting financial performance metrics is due to a known limitation of technology, which can only provide near real-time results, not real-time results. This difference is essential as imperfect situation resulting in a useful delay in the underlying origin of this winning strategy. To help, you're starting a rumor, a magpie, by saying demons instead of denoms. To help explain this element of, she's talking in the live chat, I have to keep an eye on it. To help explain this element of the special events strategy, let's imagine a specific casino-related business scenario. What if, due to a few hours worth of delay in collecting and analyzing daily revenue, the casino pays out slightly more than they needed to meet their financial performance commitments for that day? How long would the casino have to reduce its overall payout return in other words, to take players' money during the subsequent week of relatively minor attendance before it can make up for that loss due to this miscalculation? Hint: think in terms of several days. Logically, it would take some time due to the reduced revenue that they would be receiving from a smaller number of gamblers per day in the days following a special event. But let us consider the opposite business scenario. What if the casino were to deliberately pay out slightly less than its projected financial target during special events? They would subsequently want to meet their financial target. If they subsequently wanted to meet their financial target, they would only take a few jackpots over the next day or so, or morning, to reduce the revenue to precisely the balance that their business performance expected to get the exact payout return desired. In other words, under the scenario, this second process is much easier for the casino to meet its financial target. The downside for the casino is, of course, that they cannot meet their daily goal. But that wasn't happening anyway, as explained by the first scenario. However, under the second scenario, the business would be able to meet its financial target in, say, daily, plus or minus, less than additional 6 hours, and do so without providing a noticeably bad experience for patrons. Did you notice that somewhere is what I just explained, the winning advantage of did you notice the winning advantage of special events? Whether you did or not, savvy slots enthusiasts, I'll go over implementing it shortly just in case. Beforehand, however, we first need to know when special events occur. Lots of questions. Live stream's working. Good luck, moderators. The strategy for gaining a winning advantage from special events is to plan visits to the casino in a morning after they occur. One relatively significant disadvantage of this winning strategy is learning or knowing when the casino has large crowds in attendance. What is the local sports schedule for home games? Is there a special guest plan like Kevin Hart last night, or another type of promotional event? Are you a member of the casino's Players Club? And did you get a flyer or email about a special occasion? For guests and promotion, the easiest and most effective way to obtain their complete events schedule is to be a top tier or near top tier player, or know someone who holds one of those Player Club status tiers. Having such a connection is essential. Such so-called high rollers usually receive a personal invitation plus one guest to attend if they are currently active in their gaming. If you're not such a high status tier, I got to saw the Temptations on New Year's Eve. Great. Mystery Theater one time. So maybe you can participate in special events by being a +1 of someone already invited. Otherwise, advertisements on the casino's website show limited information for events open to the public. There are also the in-between crowd, comprising those individuals who are in a lower tier of the Players Club, like high-tier players. They're also invited to special events, but that are not otherwise open to the public. If this winning strategy is of interest to you, consider finding out more about promotional events by making friends with players in a higher tier than yourself, and again, perhaps even attend such events with them. However, regarding this winning strategy, it is not essential to participate in the actual special event. What is important is knowing that a particular event will occur. If all this seems like a bit too much research, there's a more straightforward way to implement this strategy. However, be aware that it may result in some wasted bankroll. This simplified schedule is simply this. What day or days does your local casino typically hold special events? The truly simplified approach with no research required regarding the casino schedule is simply this. Assume special events occur every Friday and Saturday evening. You might even want to add the last day of the month. So, if a particular event is known to be occurring shortly, here's how to. See, you started something with a demon comment, Magpie. So, if a particular event, have I ever told you that joke about the joke is the inventor of autocorrect died. May he restaurant. Moving on. So if the particular event is known to be occurring shortly, here's how to apply this winning strategy to take advantage of it. Attend the casino with the intention of gambling on slots early on the day after the special event occurs. As I've observed after visiting the day after a year of special events, a careful analysis of bankrolls, jackpots, and my payout return can reveal a pattern of financial profit. There are a few caveats to be aware of, however. These are more practical issues than anything else, but given your travel habits, they may apply to you. First, I want you to know that the casino may sometimes operate financially as planned, resulting in an unnecessary balance change due the next day. Sometimes, in other words, the casino gets it right. Second, I found success with this strategy at implementing it between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the day after special events. You'll note that it is quite a wide range, as well as being relatively early in the morning. Please note that I'm not suggesting attending the casino from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. after special events. What I was doing was what I'd expect you to do if you plan to implement this strategy. Find a time between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m. when you visit the casino for a short while. Third, in the interest of full disclosure, for practical reasons, I was only able to implement this winning strategy at a limited number of casinos. The reason for this was simple. I had to be nearby to achieve it. At 2 casinos, they were located, not far from where I was, so driving to them was relatively straightforward. However, I then moved quite a ways away, which made it not practical. But now I'm living in Reno, and there's 13 casinos within 9 miles, and more outside of it. I could go to Lake Tahoe and try those casinos. So I'll be getting, one of the things I'll be doing is getting more permissions from casinos. Several have said no. The Caesars properties told me from corporate level that they don't give permission. I could do it, but they couldn't stop me from recording anyway. And I'm like, yes, you can. You just tell me not to, and I don't have permission, and I won't record at your casino ever. Your loss. But then there's a couple of GSR Grand Sierra Resort says no, but there's still like 11 more to check. I've got permission at 4. I got permission from the Reno International Airport to record. Of course, to get past the security, I'd have to have a ticket. Maybe I'll do that at some point, but there are slot machines before security, and I can do those. So that's one I have permission but haven't actually done. And then there's 3 others, Atlantis, Peppermill, and Legends Bay, which I have recorded and maybe you've seen. So on a few other occasions, I successfully implemented this strategy while visiting a casino hotel, Foxwoods, for instance. These circumstances allowed me to wake up early and stay up late to take advantage of being within walking distance of where I wanted to be. So there's a technological trend. A thoughtful player looking to capitalize on the advantages available during special events should be aware of a technological trend. Customer satisfaction and increased casino profits drive the development of casino technology. Technologies are continually improving in their ability to provide real-time insights to casinos regarding financial revenues. These ongoing casino upgrades will eventually negatively influence the winning advantage of special events. A decade or more ago, every casino had a team of bookkeepers and accountants on staff to handle the massive paperwork generated by casino patrons, which allowed them to compile summary financial results only once or twice a month. Nowadays, central server technology links slot machines directly to casino operating software. We talked about that in my interview in ChatGPT last week, a live stream. So slots enthusiasts can now request beverage service directly from a slot machine, allowing slot attendants to receive routing instructions and confirmations via mobile devices, among other benefits. The concern here is that the day is fast approaching when casino operators will be able to receive real-time financial results. When that day arrives, this winning advantage of special events will cease to exist. For now, there's still an hours-long delay in generating summary financial results, which means this advantage still exists. How long will it last? Well, read annual financial reports submitted to the SEC, but it is years away, a few more years anyway, before we'll see the demise of this slots winning strategy. You might say, well, AI can do it. Well, AI can't count your coins. And you might say, they don't use coins. And I'm like, they do at the tables. They use dollars and all of that, and just being able to get everything into the system to be able to account for it is not quick. So in summary, casino special event promotions often feature a winning strategy. When implemented, they improve your overall gambling performance at some casinos. However, it isn't necessarily convenient. Be sure to like this live stream to attract more slot enthusiasts and send a positive signal to the YouTube algorithms. The more the merrier. During this stream, I cover the gaming industry of one U.S. state, territory, or federal district. Right. Slots Labs UR Special 888. I haven't offered it for 15 months and maybe that long, or perhaps never again. We'll see how it goes. Things are changing on my channel for the better, I would hope. But if you want to take this, you'll have to wait and may not get it. So Arkansas is our next state that we'll be talking about. Let me check to see if there's questions. Lots of hearts floating up there. Thank you. I just want to see if there's any questions for me. Don't see anything with a hashtag question in front of it, so I guess not. I'd love to read all those individually, but so Arkansas. Let's switch over to Arkansas and show that. And let's see. Bring up the next one. Do that. Okay. So Arkansas slot machine casino gambling, professorslots.com/AR. I always forget Arkansas. If you are interested in what your state says, I've done all of them. professorslots.com/ your two-letter postal designation. MI for Michigan, MS for Mississippi, MO for Missouri, all of those. So Arkansas slot machine gambling consists of 2 casinos with racetracks and 1 tribal casino, all of which feature a standard form of Class 2 skill-based gaming machines. The age requirement, legal age of gambling for land-based casinos is 21, poker rooms 21, bingo's 18, lottery's 18, parimutuel wagering is 18. The Class 2 skill-based gaming machines are permitted as long as the local municipalities approve them. These competition-style slot machines must incorporate some element of skill into the device. However, in Arkansas, this decision-making feature is on a secondary screen, is often unused by players. The primary game theme usually involves a Vegas-style game of chance, Class 3 machine. So the state legislature provided skill-based gaming machines at Arkansas's 2 racetracks with Article 1151 of 2005. Furthermore, the governor legalized the state's tribes through negotiated tribal state compacts, allowing them to offer slot machines on their reservations in 1993. One of these proposed tribal casinos is yet to open, and I'll talk about that in just a second. All slot machines are legally permitted to be owned privately in Arkansas. Right. The Arkansas State Gaming Commission is the electronic games of skill section within the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. This section is responsible for regulating gaming and ensuring compliance with skill-based games in Arkansas. Arkansas has, let's see, we'll show you the picture here. Right. Arkansas has 2 commercial casino and 1 open American Indian tribal casino, as well as 1 proposed tribal casino. The largest casino in Arkansas is Saracen Casino Resort in Pine Bluff. The second largest is Southland Casino Hotel in West Memphis on other side, opposite side of the state. Right? No. On one edge of the state and kind of in the middle of the state. Right. So Oakland is in Hot Springs. These pari-mutuel wagering facilities, which feature skill-based slot machines, have a rich history dating back over 100 years. In the article, I provide a link to that history, that 100-year history. And let's see what else we have. Next to it, next to Arkansas, is Missouri to the north, to the east, Mississippi and Tennessee, to the south, Louisiana, to the southwest, Texas. And the casino, the one in River Valley, that hit a roadblock about a year and a half ago, getting permission, and it's been blocked and is not moving forward at the moment. So hope for the best and plan for the worst, right? The state legislature requires electronic games of skill to have a minimum theoretical payout of 83%. Over the expected lifetime of the game. This is very lax. There is no maximum theoretical payout limit. Again, very lax. The Electronic Games of Skill Miscellaneous Tax section of the DFA provides the gaming machine revenues for machines at the dog and horse racetracks. These publicly available amounts are insufficient to calculate player win percentages. So there's a little bit more than there. But in summary, Arkansas slot machine casino gambling consists of 2 racetracks and 1 open tribal casino with gaming machines with a minimum theoretical payout limit of 83%. Okay. Thank you so much for your time today. We had a wonderful conversation about Asian casinos. I'm looking through the comments. There's a question from Len. He has a question. Is there an advantage or disadvantage of Class 2 machines versus Class 3? There's all kinds of advantage for Class 3. There's very limited advantage for Class 2. Most of the Class 2 machines are based on bingo. You're actually, when you sit down on the machine, it's actually several machines all playing the same bingo game. And what you want to do is be the only person playing the bingo game. Now, they know that's an advantage because if you play bingo and you're the only one playing, then you're the only one that wins. So they know they require that people have enough. The game won't work until there's enough people playing. So really just, try to get like the minimum number of people playing that game because your odds go up. You need it to run, but you would need it to be minimum. And that's the strategy for winning at Class 2 games. And all these things are kind of clues on the little box of, numbers and kind of where are you at the beginning of a bingo game, at the end of the bingo game. If you're at the end of the bingo game, is there still a couple of big prizes left or they're not? And that's how you win at Class 2 machines. And Class 3 is why I've been presenting this stuff for years. It's just that much to go on. Okay, that's it. What a remarkable live stream. I'll see you next Saturday at noon Eastern or 9 a.m. Pacific. In the meantime, I highly recommend that you watch this video about slot slabs to make up your mind because deadline's coming, like 2 days. I'll try to hold it open as long as possible, but it's not full. When it's full, it's over. Join. Good point, Magpie. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.